Hi everyone, welcome to the SuperClashBros, a podcast where we take a deep dive into the horror stories of Reddit and discuss the things that truly go bump in the night. My name is Trey, and I will be your guide through the strange and unexplainable this evening. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Trey, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts Connor and David. Tonight I will be narrating our story. Tonight's story comes from the subreddit Thetruthishere, and it is called An Unexplained Experience I Had Counseling at Summer Camp Some Years Ago by the Reddit user GoddamnCommie. So let's get into this one, guys. I can't fall asleep right now, and I figured I'd share my one and only potentially paranormal encounter. It happened when I was 15, about 6 or 7 years ago, when I finally grew old enough to become a counselor at a summer camp I had attended annually for most of my childhood. The camp is Anokijig in Plymouth, Wisconsin, if you want to check it out. I butchered that, I'm sure. You would imagine that a summer camp as large and as old as Anokijig would have its fair share of scary stories and camp legends, but from my experience, that really wasn't the case. Ghost stories around the campfire were, of course, popular, but there weren't really any specifically about the camp itself. That is, except one commonly accepted notion among the staff. Thunderbird, Cabin 2 is haunted. See, the camp is separated into a boys and girls side, and these sides are further divided into sections with names like Lakeview, Timber Trail, or, of course, Thunderbird. Counselors would rotate through sections throughout the summer. During the particular week of this story, I was stationed in Thunderbird, and was assigned with another counselor, who I'll call Keegan, to watch over the infamous Cabin 2. Stories about Cabin 2 varied. Entities outside the windows, goatmen, scratching sounds at odd hours of the night, whatever. The diverse and often hyperbolized nature of these stories actually led me to doubt the legitimacy of all of them. It's a much more likely explanation that there was a desire for ghost stories at camp and that someone came up with Thunderbird 2 is haunted. LOL. Which just happened to stick, no? I still believe this, in fact. I do not believe in ghosts or the paranormal, but I know that what I experienced and any rational explanation I can come with does not seem fully convincing. Anyway, it goes as follows. This week, I was assigned to watch the youngest group of boys, about 6 to 8. We like to have everyone in bed early since the young kids can be restless and they need time to wind down. This particular night, things went smoothly for Keegan and I. We had gotten all the kids seemingly asleep rather quickly. Being a little older, we would stay up and chat or read, and this night was no different. We both sat in Keegan's bunk sharing a pair of earbuds and watching YouTube videos. It's important now to describe the layout of the cabin in Thunderbird. They were simplistic, rectangular raised wooden cabins. The inner perimeter was lined with bunk beds and housed about 20 to 30 campers and 2 counselors. Small, high-set, rectangular windows along all sides provide moderate moonlight at night. Anyways, we're watching a video, and all the kids are asleep. Dead quiet inside. You can barely hear the cracking of the dwindling campfire outside and the muffled normal sounds of a Midwest forest at night. That is, until something disturbs the peace. The unmistakable sound of someone shaking in a sleeping bag breaks the silence. It's clear from the noise and the vibrations that one of the campers is basically flailing in their bunk. Their sleeping bag is rustling, the metal bunk is squeaking, the sound of their body bouncing on the mattress makes a dull thumping. Keegan and I quickly take out the earbuds, pause for a moment to listen to the sound, and turn to each other with a concerned, "What the hell?" look on our faces. Initially, I'm actually worried a camper is having a seizure. And then, on the other side of the cabin, we hear the same noise. The same vibration, only a few seconds the first camper started to shake. A second one joins in. Then another, and another, and another. Within 7 or 8 seconds, literally every fucking kid in this cabin is flailing in their bags. The sound of rustling fabric and straining bed springs is all you can hear. In the pale moonlight, you could also see the outlines of their bodies bouncing around a little. The entire cabin is vibrating at this point, and Keegan and I are frozen, wide-eyed, terrified. We each have the same frightened look, and it's clear that neither of us has any idea what is going on or what to do. We sit paralyzed for some period of time while the collective possession around us continues. After 15 or 20 seconds of this, the cacophony stops. Like a switch is flipped. All of the campers stop moving and go perfectly still, back to sleeping undisturbed. Still immobilized with fear, Keegan and I sit completely still as well, not talking or moving. Scared, I'm assuming that this was simply the beginning of something worse. Unsure whether to run or check the campers, minutes go by, both of us looking around, eyes darting to the door, the surrounding bunks, both of us braced for impending doom. I'm not sure how, but at the same time, both of us silently conclude we should bolt. As fast as we can, we leap up from the bunk and sprint out the door, into the clearing that accompanies the cabins. The only person still outside is our senior counselor scrolling through his phone by the fire. He's surprised to see the two counselors of a cabin dash out the way we did. Panicked, we try to explain what the hell happened. He brushes us off but agrees to check the cabin. As you can guess, he doesn't see or hear anything but peacefully sleeping campers. We reluctantly return to the cabin and get in our beds. Still on high alert, I lay awake for some time, braced and waiting for something. But alas, I drift off at some point. Wouldn't you believe it, in the morning, none of the kids claimed to know anything about the night previous. They all claim to have fallen asleep like any other night, and the phenomenon does not continue by any following night. As someone who is wholly skeptical and, as previously stated, does not believe in anything not well-founded or observed scientifically, I struggle to think what might have caused this. I want to think it was a prank, but I just don't think a bunch of young children could coordinate something like this so well, or even more so, retain their innocence in the matter. If anyone has any similar stories or even heard if anything that could cause this, I'm all ears. It will probably be the most confused and scared I'll ever be in my life. The situation was just so bizarre and sudden. I hope I properly conveyed just how creepy it was. That's the story.
Yeah, that was a prank.
You think it was a prank?
Yeah, 100%.
So you think 100%. These 6 and 8-year-olds came up with this elaborate prank and timed it just perfectly?
I think one of them was a leader and told them all, hey, we should do this to scare the counselors. And then they said, you know, hey, after we're down for maybe like 20 minutes or so, one of us will start making sounds, and then everyone else will just start randomly making sounds for 20 seconds. Easy.
Like, it wasn't in sync, perfectly uniform. Right. It was like one started it, and then all of them did it.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But still, man, like, I've been around, like, kids, like, growing up, my 2 younger brothers, like, they're too dumb to pull something like this off, in my opinion. Like, it would blow my mind that they would be able to organize this and then every single one of them afterwards just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that never happened.
Did they do that?
Yeah, it says that they maintain their innocence in the matter.
Yeah, it does
so
say that,
and like kids tell the truth more than they don't. You know what I mean?
They're
like
also
they just
really good at getting into shit too.
Yeah, but like if you confront a kid and be like, "Yo, like what was this?" 9 times out of 10 they're gonna like break and be like, "Oh yeah, like we were just fucking around or whatnot." So like in my mind, that's what makes me believe this story. But that's just me, I guess. Maybe I just want kids getting possessed. I don't know.
The moral of the story is that Trey is trying to portray here is that he hopes that one of these little kids is actually the demon spawn and is controlling the rest of them. In mine and Connor's world, yeah, they were just pranking.
Interesting.
They were just really good at it.
I mean, the 2 camp counselors ran out afterwards. Who's to say those kids weren't laughing their asses off as soon as they left, and then like went back to sleep afterwards? Right. So by the time the camp counselor came back, they're like dead asleep. So they just look like jackasses for running away.
Or maybe one of the other camp counselors was in on it. Said, "Hey, if you guys can do this and scare them out of the tent, we'll get you guys pizza tomorrow or something."
Yeah, they could have been pranking the counselors. It could have been a high level.
I don't know.
All that shit comes from top down.
I don't think that kids that are that young are capable of pulling off something in unison like this without, like, I guess, rehearsal, I should say. So, I don't know.
Maybe they did rehearse it during the day.
I was about to say.
But if they're all out like doing camp activities, like when would they have time? I mean, honestly, like I've never personally been to a summer camp, but I imagine that like there's not a whole ton of free time in between. Like they're obviously going to be like, oh, we've got activities, like you have to like be here to do this activity during the day, right?
All right, kids, I want you
And
to
then like
listen
they're all
up.
accounted for at night, like they all have to be in bed at the same time.
I want you to listen up and do your exercises. So just stay in place and just shake like crazy. And they're like, now do that tonight when you get in your bed. I think we need to take Trey to camp. You this one time
I would
at band
love
camp?
to go to summer camp and have that experience.
This
Maybe,
one time at band camp?
Maybe Jason will show up and try to kill me. That'd be
Okay,
fun.
all right. The kids is where I draw the line.
Neither one of you have been to summer camp, right?
No.
No, just
I guess like the closest thing I've been to summer camp was like being on one of the Air Force bases in the summertime as like daycare.
I mean, I've been on camping. I've been on camping trips with friends, but no, I've never been to one of those where they have like the log cabins and everything, and it's like a team building or the community thing. I've never done that.
No, my parents liked me. They wouldn't send me. I mean, that's the only reason you send your kids off to camp, right?
Right.
You can't handle them. Or
Can't handle the little shits anymore.
Yeah.
Like you got to get the fuck out of here.
That's like
I need
like
me time.
That's one or two steps before the
military school.
I was gonna say talking to the prisoners, but the scared straight stuff. And then after the scared straight stuff is probably when you get into military school.
All right. So you guys don't think it was paranormal at all? You guys think it was just a prank?
I personally don't think it was paranormal, no.
Okay. All right. We'll just, I guess, leave it at that.
Just wind out of your sails. It's just gone.
I mean, Trey, you can believe it. Go for it.
Look, it's close to Halloween. I'm looking for some spooky stuff. This one is good for me.
You know what?
So I'm gonna roll with it. Okay. I'm gonna say I believe.
This is the one where you have a full balloon and it just goes.
It was a mass possession that made kids vibrate for a few seconds. It's 100% what it was.
All right. All right. Thank you, Connor.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. If you have any stories you'd like to submit, you can do so via our email, which is going to be scspookycast@gmail.com. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of our content. We've got another podcast that Connor and Kale do, which is super cool. I also do some gaming videos on there, so be sure to share that with your friends and your family. Go buy our merch. Our SpookyCast stuff is, well, depending on when this episode releases, is either gone already or is still there, so we shall see. But we hope you have a safe and spooky night, and we will catch you guys on the next one.